You type your password. You punch in the 6-digit code sent to your phone. The system logs you in. You did everything right. But the moment you hit enter, your account was compromised. For decades, we treated security like a locked door, with the password acting as the key. But that analogy is dead. Modern attackers no longer try to pick the lock. They simply rebuild the door around the user. When a server verifies your credentials, it hands your browser a temporary digital pass called a session cookie. This is the digital equivalent of a VIP wristband. Once you have it, the bouncer stops checking your ID, and you move freely through the halls of your digital life. The password is a brief formality, but the cookie is the actual prize. Everything from personal email accounts to high-frequency trading floors relies on the integrity of these session cookies to function without constant reauthentication. When cybercriminals began stealing passwords en masse, the security industry added deadbolts. We introduced multi-factor authentication, requiring a secondary code from a device only you possess. We reinforced the front door, believing it made systems impenetrable. Hackers realized they could no longer break through these reinforced endpoints. Instead, they shifted their focus to the connection itself. They began intercepting the session cookie while it was traveling across the network. We spent billions of dollars fortifying the user's device and the company's servers. But by focusing on the lock and the key, we left the invisible space in the middle completely exposed. This vulnerability created the Adversary-in-the-Middle attack. It starts with a link that loads a live, real-time reflection of a legitimate login page, mirroring everything from the logos to the subtle shadows of the input fields. This network map shows the hidden architecture of the heist. The attacker has secretly positioned a proxy server directly in the gap between the user and the actual, legitimate website. When you type your password, you are passing it directly through the attacker's invisible gateway. The proxy forwards the credentials to the real website in real time. The real website evaluates the password and sends a request for a 2-factor code. The middleman proxy blindly forwards this request back to you. You check your phone, enter the code, and hit enter. The server verifies the code and issues the session cookie. In a fraction of a millisecond, the invisible proxy intercepts that digital VIP pass, duplicates it, and passes the original along to your browser. Your account dashboard loads normally, and you suspect nothing. But the attacker now possesses a cloned session cookie. They simply import it into their own browser to gain the exact same access you possess. The attacker needs neither your password nor your phone. The multi-factor authentication protocol worked perfectly, but the entire ritual of trust was weaponized against the user. This architecture is mass-produced on an industrial scale within the dark web. Phishing-as-a-Service platforms like EvilJinx now automate the entire process. These platforms handle the complex traffic routing and the automated interception of session tokens. A criminal with no technical expertise can rent this infrastructure for a few $100s a month. They use pre-configured templates for every major technology provider and financial institution, then wait for the harvest. The commodification of the invisible proxy has expanded the threat surface. We are now defending against automated supply chains of theft, where a single click by a fatigued employee can compromise an entire network. We often blame the user for falling for these attacks, yet human eyes cannot distinguish between a legitimate digital connection and a flawless mathematical reflection. The solution requires removing human perception from the equation. We must eliminate the human decision to trust from how machines establish identity. The industry is turning to FIDO2 cryptographic hardware. These physical keys establish a strict mathematical bond directly with the access domain. If the key detects a proxy instead of the true destination, it refuses to function. This removes the user's judgment, neutralizing the attack instantly. Until this cryptographic standard is universal, our reliance on the locked door remains a precarious fiction. We are navigating a landscape where the primary danger exists in the invisible space between our screens and the systems we trust.